What's up, legends? So today we are, in this episode, we are building a spare wheel carrier for my Land Rover. So I'll have one bolted on the back here, and then I'm going to have a jerry can as well, which I'm going to have to figure out whether I have it, the spare wheel here somehow. I'll probably have to relocate the number plate on the back of the jerry can. But yeah, we'll have to figure all that out. But I also want to have it so that when it flicks out, I don't know if I can do this yet, but when it flicks out, obviously it'll lock, and then I wouldn't mind having some sort of table that clicks onto it. So then that way I've got like a prep bench for when I'm away, but I'll have to figure that out because of the heights of the drawers and stuff when they come out, making sure it's all going to work. My fridge slides out this side, so it shouldn't be a problem. But I've got two drawers here that come out, and there's a kitchen drawer up the top that comes out as well. So we're going to make sure that it fits in with all of that. And then it's going to, depending on what the Rio bar's like, I'm going to weld it to that. So we'll have a tube probably come out about here, and then one over this side somewhere, because behind here is actually quite hollow. There's a lot of room in there, so should be able to build some bracketry to hold it. And I'm thinking, yeah, it'll have a 40-50 mil tube come out here and here, and then we'll build a spare wheel carrier off the car that slides on and then bolts to that, so that way if I ever need to take it off for whatever reason, it just comes straight off, and there's just two bits of bar there, so it's easy to remove. And then I want to make sure obviously that I can still tow, because I'm thinking about down the track getting a camper trailer. Anyway, this will be filmed over the next couple of weeks because it's just a spare time project in between other work. So I suppose first things first is to get the bumper off. With the amount of dirt that's already fallen off this thing, and you can see all the amount of dirt in here, I can't tell if there's any more fixings or anything in that. I've never pulled one of these bars off before, so there's just so much dirt and shit everywhere. I think I'm actually going to take this off the hoist and take it out the front and just pressure wash all that I can so far. Hopefully I can get to whatever I've got to get the rear bar off from the ground, and then that way I can take the rear bar off outside and then pressure wash the hell out of the back of the car, because yeah, if I've got it apart I may as well clean it, and it's going to make it easier for me to do my fab work and whatnot. So yeah, now we're going to take this outside and clean it so I can make sure I don't rip this bar off and break some mounts. So I've really been trying to think about this, because I don't want it to, you don't want it to look like a big, massive, bulky thing, but at the same time it needs to be strong enough that you're not going to go down corrugated roads and it's just going to fall apart. So I've been trying to think about how to structure this mount, because I actually have plenty of room in behind here. And the pivot point's going to have to be here somewhere anyway, because it can't be anywhere near the tailgate. So I was going to run a bar across here, but the way that that latch works, I don't think it's going to work. But I think I'm actually just going to make my own. I don't think I'm going to use that latch. I think I'm going to make a different one. So I'm thinking that the bracket points will be That goes straight onto the chassis, like that goes straight onto the rear bar where it bolts to the chassis of the car, and then that's at the end of that rear bar. So then I'm thinking whether I have this and another one, or whether I just go with bigger. So I'm thinking about having it come out here and then go across to my mount. So like this will be here somewhere. And then instead of using, I was going to use this smaller bar, which is like 40 mil, this bigger one. But yeah, I'm actually thinking I'm going to use this bigger bar, which is like 60 mil, because that'll fit inside that tube there. So it's quite big and bulky, I get that, yeah, but it's not like the whole thing's going to be that size. So I'm thinking I'll use this stuff for the bracket on the side, and then I'll use that bar, which is, I think that's 70 as well, or might be 80, 75, something like that. But that's rectangle, this is tube. But yeah, so we might have a pretty solid looking mount here, but it's only going to be about a bit as big as the thing I'm holding, maybe a little bit smaller. And that'll just make that, where the pivot point where it all swings off, it'll be really solid. And then we'll have that other bar that'll go across here that will, the jerry can and the spare wheel will actually mount to. And then I think I'm going to have to make some sort of bracket that goes, if you guys see me do the Discovery one that I did, I bought a kit off Rigididge, that had like a bracket that goes like up like that, and then the pin went into it. So I think I'm going to have to make like a similar version. I might message Murray and see whether he sells that, but otherwise, yeah, I think I'll make one of those, because then that way it can lock against here real flat, because otherwise we're going to be coming off the back of the bumper quite far, like probably out here somewhere. But yeah, like always, you're better off to think about it for a long time rather than just, I used to just always just throw myself straight into it and just start building. But then you'd think, as you were building it, you were like, oh, why didn't I do that? I've been really trying to think about this bracket and how it's going to mount and all that sort of stuff, and how solid it's going to be. And I just reckon the 40 mil bar is not going to be enough. If I was just doing a spare tire, maybe, even then. I mean, the tongue on your tow bar is only 40 mil, but it'd be a lot thicker. But yeah, I don't know. I do tend to over-engineer things. That's kind of a fault of mine. But if you look at that, that's the same size bar as that. So it does make sense. Like that'll all sort of be the same size, and then I can use this size tube then as my riser for the actual spare wheel mount as well. So it'll all sort of match up in size for that, and then it'll just be the smaller tube that runs across and picks up the jerry can, and then that mounts. But you got to remember the jerry can's 20 litres, so that's 20 kilos hanging off the side here. Then you got your spare tyre, which will be about 20 or 30 kilos, probably a four-wheel drive tyre, probably more like 30 kilos. It is an alloy rim, but with the tyre, yeah, it could be even 40 kilos. So there could be 60 kilos plus all the steel, so around 100 kilos, 150 kilos total hanging off the back of this thing. But I am going to make this bracket that goes on here so that when you swing it around, it actually, you'll have to lift it up like a little bit. I want to make it so it's under load, so that when it sits on this bracket, it actually comes up just a fraction, which I guess you could probably just build it level because it'll bend down a little bit. But I'd like it to just be like just on there, so then that way when I pin it in, that's actually the bracket here will be taking all the weight, which will be like securely fixed to the Rio bar. So then that way it's not bouncing off that bracket on the side like this. That'll be helping, but it also will be taking the weight here. So then it'll just be this section here with the jerry can that's free, like just in the air, sort of just spinning. But I think with how I'm building all this, it'll be fine. It's just that, like the last camping trip I did, I think I drove total driving in and around and out maybe 2.5 hours of just like bang, 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 bang corrugations. So if you're driving that sort of stuff, and then the trips I'll be doing in the future will be a lot more of that. Like you guys seen the dirt that come out of this thing. I don't have problems with my spare tire falling off or anything like that, because otherwise what's the point? You're just causing yourself more problems. Like I said, the trick is building something that's strong and that doesn't look ridiculous. So that's what I'm just trying to get my head around at the moment, because like I said, I've got plenty of room in here if I want to build some sort of a bracket that then bolts to the body. So then I'll have one that bolts to the Rio bar. It'll probably actually be welded to the Rio bar, which then bolts to the body, and then I could have another one coming in on that angle, because there's like a panel here and we can bolt it to that. So then you've got 2 points. Should be quite solid. But yeah, I'm just trying to get my head around it at the moment. I'll touch base in a sec.
If I could feel your love, if I could feel your love, if I could feel
suppose we are due for a bit of an update. As usual, I'm making an absolute mess of my shop. I've got crap everywhere, there's metal all over the ground. I did have a sweep up last night before I left. Yeah, so we've got it latching here. I didn't end up changing that from what I had before because I just didn't like it. It wasn't strong enough. This is real tight, which is good because it's not made that solid. You can't move it at all. But on top of it being pinned here, I also have a separate pin here. And the reason I've done this one here is because this actually comes out. You take the other side out first, then you push this one up as you swing the bar, and it'll plop into this other hole here, and then it pulls the bar at a 90 degree angle. Because once I've got my next stage is I've got to weld up a bunch of stuff, so we'll be doing that. But I need to get I need to find what jerry can holder I'm going to be using on here, so that then I can make up the brackets to hold that. And then once that's done, we can fully weld everything. So for now, I'm going to probably do a little bit more welding just because I like to sort of separate the heat, do it in stages. But I'm going to have to get the bumper off at some stage. So yeah, I'll probably I'll weld up these caps and do what I can for now. But then I think, yeah, the next stage is I've got to get a jerry can holder so that we can continue with getting some more fab work done. But it's coming up really good. I'm really happy with it. I'll have to put some studs and stuff in here once I figure out what wheel I'm going to be running. But yeah, so it latches out there and the latches here. So you got a double latch, so because I figured it was probably safe, you know, if you're going down heaps of corrugated roads, like this is thick as steel, bolted to thick as steel, welded to thick as steel. So very unlikely that's going to come off, but I just thought, you know, also very unlikely once this is welded up that's going to come off either, but just in the case that it did happen to come off or something happened or you forgot the pin or, you know, you didn't put it back in or whatever, that pin stays in the other side because it just goes out 90 degrees and then comes back in 90 degrees when you've latched it. Whereas this one will have to come out. I mean, you can put it back in the hole, but let's say you forget, at least that way it'll always be latched at some point. But yeah, this is, I am trying to move that as hard as I can, and yeah, it's so solid. So the way that I've done this pin is that there's going to be, see, all that. So to get this open, you got to push this pin up, which is going to be hard for me to do while I'm holding the camera. But push this pin up and then slide the bar out, and then boom, and then that's locked at 90 degrees to the car. But yeah, what I'm going to be doing here is just, as you can see, that I've just got some random bits of off-cut rubber that I've got, but this will have rubber glued to it there and there. That way it just stops that rattling, because, you know, I have noticed that if you don't have something like that on these things, it'll just rattle around in the back of the car. So this is rubber, and that's at least replaceable, so I'll just carry some rubber in the car, and let's say I lose it or it falls off, I can just chuck some more on there. But yeah, that'll be glued onto there, and then I've just put a little bend on here just so that way when I glue the rubber on, it can go down a little bit, and then that way when I'm putting the bar in, it's not hitting on the edge of this and ripping it up, it'll be sliding along it. Then also, once I figure out, yeah, my jerry can and what's going on here, I want to build, even if I just put some locators or something, and then I just want to build a little portable bench of some sort. I'm not sure if it's possible yet, but I think it should work. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having like another bench of some sort that I could put onto here, just so that I don't have to carry another table, because I was thinking about getting another one of the bamboo tables that I was using when I went camping, which pack up quite small. It's probably like a 60 centimeter by 10, or probably 60 by 15 by 15 bag. So they're actually a pretty small table, so I might get another one of those if I have to, but I just thought if I could figure out a way of turning this into a table, that would be awesome, because I could slide something into the top of one of these drawers that just stays in there, and then I pull it out and it clicks into this drawbar, which gives me a bit of a kitchen. So that means I wouldn't, if I'm just doing a quick overnighter, I can just pull this out, put my table on there, grab the burner out and set up and cook without having to unload the whole car. So that's my sort of idea on that. Best thing about building this yourself is that you can come up with all of those different things as you're going. Yeah, it's really solid, and it's at this stage not super heavy. So I will have to put, we're going to put some little bars in here. I was going to put bar from there to there, but I think just to make it look a bit prettier, we'll actually cut out some tube in a triangle and weld it to there, and then same on the other side, and then just one in the front there, just to give it a bit more strength, because like I said, I am going to be going down a lot of corrugations and stuff, so I want all this to be as strong as possible. Yeah, just this is quite thick bar. I think that's 5mm thick, and then all the rest of the stuff that I've used is 3, just to try and keep the weight down. Anyway, back into it. right, so we're at my favourite part of doing all this stuff. I get to actually fit what I've been building. So I've been working after hours or here all week building this kit and painted it up. When did I paint it? I didn't come here last night, so I painted it up Wednesday night, and it's currently Friday, so I've let it sit for a bit over 24 hours to dry, and then now we're going to properly do the final finish and fit up. And I went and picked up, well, that's why I didn't come here last night. I'm thinking, why didn't I come in last night? So last night I don't have a spare. Well, I do have a spare, but it's under. I'm pretty sure. I could be talking out my ass here, but I'm fairly certain that there is a spare in the car underneath where my drawers and stuff are. But because I put the drawers and stuff in there, you can't get to my current spare. But I figure it's good to have in there as a backup because it's like having an extra spare. But I went last night and bought a set of 5 wheels for the Land Rover because I was looking for a spare wheel to match this one. Couldn't find one anyway, but the cheapest wheel that I found that had the same sort of specs was $440 for one wheel. I ended up going up to Melbourne and picking up a set of 5 wheels for $300. So yeah, I'm going to whack one of those on the back of this, and then I've got an extra 4 spares. Eventually I will probably get different mags for this car, but at the moment I think it'd just be good just to have another spare tyre on there, so then that way I've technically got 2 spare tyres when I'm away. Now I've got a jerry can for water. I think I originally was going to put the jerry can on the back that I've done for diesel, but I don't really think I need to carry that much diesel because I'm never going to be too far away from somewhere. So I think I'll actually just get a little 10 litre jerry can and put it up on the roof next to those. So I mean, more fuel next to fuel, great idea. But anyway, the jerry can that's going to be on my rear spare wheel carrier is going to be just for water, because it's going to be, you guys would have seen by now that I've made it lock out at 90 degrees. It's got a table, so then that way I can set up a little bit of a kitchen here, and then the water's right next to the kitchen, which makes sense. But anyway, I'll stop jibber jabbing and let's get into putting this kit together. Alright legends, we are finished making a mess of my shop. I hope you guys really enjoyed this build video, because I've really enjoyed building it. If this is something that you guys want done to your car, hit me up, because you can't always get rear bars for cars. If you can buy a rear bar for your car, you're definitely better off just buying one and getting it fitted, or I can fit it. But if you need a custom made one because you can't get one for your car, then definitely hit me up, because if you can buy them, it's not cost effective. If you can't buy it, like my car, I couldn't get a rear bar for it, so I had to make one, whereas you guys might not have the skills to be able to do that. So if you don't, and you want me to do it, I'm happy to do it for you. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and tag all the things, and I'll see you on the next one.